Before we left Auckland for the lesser-known city of Hamilton, something happened that changed the way we saw New Zealand forever.
A Maori woman, an elder and leader, welcomed us into her tribe's marae. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't curated for tourists.
So if they ran out of food, they'll go to each sort of shed and go, who's got,
She shared her personal story, her people's history, and what Aotearoa truly means. Not just the name, but the spirit of this land.
So when we arrived in Hamilton, this overlooked city most travelers skip, we started to see things differently.
A museum exhibit felt more alive.
A children's movie hit harder.
And it made us question, why do we travel?
Who do we listen to when we do travel?
And how often do we overlook the people who've been there all along? I'm Noelle.
And I'm Jonathan.
We're on a mission to live in 100 countries.
Ever wonder what would happen if you got rid of all your stuff and traveled around?
A few years ago, we would have said that was crazy or irresponsible.
But there's more than one way to travel.
Whether it's months in Colombia,
Or months in Romania,
weeks crossing oceans,
slowly traveling the world.
we're writing our own story.
Everywhere we go, we meet amazing people.
This channel may not be for you, but we're inviting you to come along with us.
Because we're not just traveling.
Subscribe for free.
We were invited to the Marae of the Iwi Ngāti one of the many iwi or tribes that make up the Maori people.
The Maori are the indigenous Polynesian people of Aotearoa. They are the second largest ethnic group in New Zealand, after the white New Zealanders.
The white people are referred to as Paki. We're Pakis.
This Iwi's marae sits on land that was nearly lost forever.
We were shown the site where, for 506 days, members of Ngāti Whātua protested the government's plan to build high-income housing on their ancestral land, and eventually, they won it back. Because for Maori, the land is more precious than money.
Can you even believe it? 506 days.
It was a celestial experience. The Marae is more than a building. It's the house of peace, a sacred space, built with intention, each carving, each beam telling stories of ancestors, values, and deep spiritual roots.
We learned how Maori greet one another by pressing noses in a gesture called the sharing of breath.
We learned about the great moa, flightless birds that once roamed these lands, some weighing over 400 pounds, and the haast eagle, the largest eagle to ever exist.
And then there was food, warm conversation, laughter. We were welcomed not as guests, but as friends.
And before we left, they gave us something we'll never forget, a handmade manaya, a guardian spirit in the form of a bird-like creature.
After leaving Auckland, we hopped on a bus south to Hamilton. It cost us 64 New Zealand dollars, or about $38 US total.
That's $19 US per person. When we arrived, we noticed something immediately. These curious-looking courts in a nearby park. They don't look like any sport we've ever seen.
What are all of these? I have no idea. We just found all of these courts, and they aren't tennis courts. They look like tennis courts at the beginning, but tennis courts don't have those lines. There's lines down the middle, and these are like half circles and a little circle in the middle, and then there's like a net, but no backboard, like basketball. So honestly, I have no idea. And there's like 20 courts right here. I'm confused.
We stayed in a cozy Airbnb that had everything we needed for just $78 US a night.
Nothing fancy, but peaceful and perfect for slow travel.
Just steps away was a riverside walking path.
That's a pretty bridge.
It was a very beautiful path. Very green and full of life. Oh wow, it's so beautiful.
We strolled past bright flowers, towering trees, and a wooden boardwalk that felt high up.
We also saw the weta, New Zealand's giant cricket. And yes, it's just as weird and wonderful as it sounds. While we were in town, we also caught a screening of Moana 2. The Moana movies are about Polynesian heritage, But for many Maori people, they strike an even deeper chord. Moana 2 made history here. It was the first major film to premiere in an indigenous language, Te Reo Maori, the Maori language.
And we loved it.
We're going to Moana 2 in New Zealand. We got our tickets half off online. Usually they're $19.50 New Zealand dollars, but we got them for 10 each New Zealand dollars, so that's great. So we just walked in. We bought our tickets online. We didn't have to show them to anyone, and it says Cinema 3 on the tickets, so we're just going in Cinema 3.
Several Maori we spoke to told us they cried watching it. They loved it so much. Seeing their language and culture honored on the big screen, I can't imagine what that was like for them.
A little rainy day.
Yeah.
One of the most unexpected highlights in Hamilton was a small, free museum tucked away in the suburb of Temple View. A museum unlike any other in the world. It's dedicated to preserving the history of the Pacific Islands, especially the deep ties between faith, migration, and cultural identity in this part of the world.
Inside, we found stories of missionaries who came to the island and the Polynesians who carried their faith across oceans.
We were even invited behind the scenes, into the rooms where cultural artifacts are carefully cleaned, preserved, and prepared for future exhibits. It was intimate, quiet, and sacred.
Just a short walk away, standing tall since 1955, is the Hamilton, New Zealand Temple. Another reminder that cultures don't exist in isolation. They collide, combine, and create something entirely new.
Before leaving Hamilton, we stopped by Westside Takeaways, a humble fish and chip shop where we learned something very important. In New Zealand, a normal burger has beetroot on it. What the?
Total?
Yeah.
It was about 26 New Zealand dollars for 2 burgers. And one was a very specialty burger, like their highest priced one, and then a normal cheeseburger, and then fish and chips.
And that's it.
Let's go to the lounge.
Our time in Aotearoa was eye-opening, layered, and amazing.
We came here thinking we were just passing through, but we left with a gift and a new way to see the world, one where land is sacred, ancestry matters, and where the spiritual and physical worlds blend together.
As we fly away, we wonder what adventures await us. Where are we going next? And how will our time in New Zealand affect the way we travel from here on?
Travel later. Let's go on the travel later.
Wow.